Hi everyone, it's Sebastian here. This week on Monday we gave a presentation to investors at the Bina Arta Summit, the Pullman Hotel in Jakarta, and I wanted to show you the presentation we gave so you can get the same one. It's called Something of Value, Something Useful, Something Rare. Something of value, something useful, something rare. But first, something to go through, and the backdrop to this presentation was a 30% fall in our share price in just 3 weeks. So think of the great stocks in the world: Apple in the US, Astra, BCA here in Indonesia. They all went through incredible challenges. I remember when Astra was just 250 rupiah a share. I remember watching a bank run at BCA. And I remember Apple being bailed out by Microsoft with 150 million US dollars not that long ago. But today, these are all the huge companies, biggest in their markets, biggest in the world. So this kind of thing is something you just have to go through if you're going to be great. Something of value. Now, today, commodity, the word is used often negatively. But if you look in English, in the dictionary, it is of course a raw material or a primary agricultural product like palm oil. It's a valuable, useful or rare thing. And of course it takes tremendous amount of effort, energy and money to get commodities out, especially when you first develop them. So what's the latest great commodity story, a mining story? Some of you I'm sure get it. It's Bitcoin. It costs a lot of money to get it, and that's why the price is going through the roof. It's a good reminder of what it means to be a commodity, and that there is always a great time for commodities. Now there's a University of Arizona study that's done every year looking at wealth creation by stocks. Who are the greatest wealth creators over the last 100 years? And there are two which have created, through market cap and dividends, over and above treasury rates, more than $1 trillion. One, the most recent, has taken just 40 years. Can you guess which one that one is? Yes, Apple. The first one, though, is a commodity stock, Exxon. And it shows that over the long term, the greatest wealth creators are the commodity stocks. Now, here in Indonesia, we have a lot of commodities. Mining and agriculture are more than 20% of the economy. The stock market has some great stocks. The top 10 are big too. They represent more than 50% of the market. But there's no commodity. 4 of the top 10 are banks. That's 25% of the market. But finance is only 7% of GDP. So which would you rather buy today? A bank or a commodity stock? Something useful. So edible oil has now become the largest, most used agricultural commodity. And while 10 years ago soy was the biggest edible oil, today palm oil is 25% bigger than soy. And they say if you go into a supermarket, go into a store, 50% of the products will contain palm oil. That's how useful palm oil has become. Of course, that's a huge increase in supply. And there's a lot of people who think that the price of palm oil, recently $700-800, is quite a high price. But you might be surprised to know that the price of palm oil was $1,000 back in 1984. So today, below 600, the price is down 40% in 33 years. Do you still think that the price is high? Now, of course, partly this is because of the huge growth in supply, but we can see that supply will turn negative in the next few years because the supply of palm oil is based on the history of planting. And by 2021, the new maturing hectares, this is here in Indonesia, will be what was planted 2017, that's 150,000 hectares. The replanting which was planted back in 1996, 25 years ago, is more than 200,000. So we will have a net of minus 74,000 hectares in just a few years' time. What do you think will happen to the price of palm oil? Something rare, BWPT. Now, to be a great stock, you need three things. The first is size. And Eagle High Plantations, we've planted 150,000 hectares. 2018, it will be all producing. 126 trees per hectare, so that's 18.9 million trees producing revenue for us and our shareholders. That is big size. Second thing you need, you must have cash flow. And after 20 years of negative cash flow, 2017 was a historic year. Our cash flow turned positive. This is free cash flow, operating minus investment. And I wanted to show you the impact this has had in terms of net profit. This is 2017, and by September, October, our net profit had turned positive. Not a whole quarter, but 2 months. Yes, it may come back down again, cash flow and profit, because the price has gone down. But you can see how close we are. Third thing you need is momentum. And we are gaining some momentum. When we became Eagle High Plantations in 2015, January we produced 100,000 tons of fruit. January 2017, we produced 100,000 tons of fruit. But during the year, production has increased to an average of about 130,000 tons now. So with more momentum, if the palm oil price recovers, we'll be back to cash flow and profit. And with our huge size, that profit cash flow is going to become huge in the future. So a lot of potential, tremendous potential, which you can probably imagine. And if you can't imagine it, our website can help. On the website, there is a calculator that you can use. It's based on 2022, when our yields should be at the highest. You can plug in a range of yields. I'm going to go for 25. OER, our current 23, is actually a bit higher than that. Palm oil price, so it goes back to 9 million. Cost per hectare now is around 12, assume it goes up to 16. And then a valuation of 10 times. And this is what the share price would look like on that basis. Almost 2,000 rupiah. So something of value, something useful, something rare. Hopefully for you that is BWPT. Thanks.